So we've done our adding. Now what about searching to then amend stuff that we've already got in our database? Well, you do that if you're looking for songs in the Songs tab and search songs. And here is our basic search. So we did a search for Daniel Bedingfield. We did that track. You can see that we start typing in the artist, and as we keep on typing, it narrows down in on the artist, Daniel Bedingfield. Yep, that's correct. Thanks very much. Hit on enter, and that brings up our search results here. And we can actually see that it's category B list, and we can see our styles here that we've put in. We can drag this out and we can see more. We can see the length, throw, the end, and the actual cart number on the Myriad playout. So we could double click, that will bring up our card. We could add more details in, change things around as we wish to, and then click on OK to save any changes. So that's searching for that, and it's pretty simple. That it's brought up what we'd like. We've got the ability to rerun our report with the same settings. You can also not show the display of the tree window down here. Play the selected item down into the cart player. We can edit the item. We can display the schedule history for this item, print it. We've got the chance to update the info to and from the audio wall, export it into a pad list, CSV file it, do a mass change, copy the selected items to another database, and also the ability to delete the selected item. We do have an advanced tab, so bring up the advanced allows us to add in multiple searches. So let's do a little search here for, let's do a search for everything that we've got here in the database. And so we just do a search, and we can click on the artist here, and we've got a couple of Black Eyed Peas tracks here. So what we could do is we could just narrow down our search here to say Black Eyed Peas, and then we click on enter, and then that narrows down our search even further, and we can see that we've got songs in the B list and also in the C list. So if we go back to all categories, so we can narrow it down further with the use of this tree view here. And click on years. If there were different years, then again we could narrow it down, and again with our types, genders and eras, we can narrow it down further as well. Ability to play the song if we want to, just clicking on the playhead, or we can right click, edit, we can create a duplicate item, and we can delete it as well. Edit just brings up our card back again for us to be able to see. And so over here we've added a few more. We can go back to our basic view. We can do load for a saved search that we've already done, and we could also save this search as well. So this one could be, we could save it and we could call it Black Eyed Peas, and then that way if we come out of here, go back into search, we can just click on load, select Black Eyed Peas from the list, does our search, and then it brings it back. So that one's really useful if there's a search that you do all the time. So it might be that that you want to just do a search here that songs added in the last 7 days. We'll remove all of that. We can do a search that brings that up, and then we can save that search, last 7 days added. And then that way we can just go to that. We don't have to dig into all of these other menus here. We can just do load, brings that up, last 7 days, thank you very much, brings up all of the songs that we've added. So as you can see, variety of different bits and pieces that you can narrow things down up here. You can also narrow things down in the tree view. You've got advanced here, so you can just say, just show me stuff that's not got any tempos added to it. That narrows it down even further. And you could also go into other, choose one that's got Friday Night Out, thanks very much, I'll take that. Now if we go back to all tempo, what we should find is our Daniel Bedingfield, because we added that as a Friday Night Out style. Date range has been added in the last 7 days. and then copyright, you could do a search here for any copyright information, maybe a record label that you might want to do in there. So as you can see, you've got a variety of ways of being able to search what you've got here in Songs, and it works the same for links as well. So a really enhanced searchability, and also a way to refine your search once you've got the original search up, by using either the tree view down here in the left hand corner, or just adding more and more criteria to narrow down that search further and further. So that's how you would search for songs and search for links as well. And the major benefit is that once you have brought all of that up, you can highlight those songs and do a mass change. So let's do that. Let's remove our Friday night out, and we'll do all songs regardless of style. Brings those up, and then here we can highlight those, do a mass change, and we could say we want to do a mass change and we want to move all of those to our C list. You also have the ability to add the restrictions and other information here, and the tempo, mood, whatever you want, release year, and then that way you're going to mass change all of those four, and they've all moved to the C list here in our Autotrack database. Another way of viewing and changing the categories of songs or links is to use decks. And you can bring up a deck by clicking on Song Decks. You can bring up another one by clicking again. And why not? Let's bring up a third one. And so we've got 3 deck windows. We can just narrow these ones in a little bit if we wanted to. And let's rearrange the screen. And so that one on the left is going to be A list, this one B list, and this one C list. And we have the ability to sort by the item title in A to Z order, or you can sort by the artists, and you can also see how far it is thrown down. So these are our categories here. And so if you wanted Sunset Strippers to be down into the B list, just left click and drag. And if you want these ones here, Hanson to move into C, Kelly Osbourne, British Sea Power, they move into C. And you can see up in the top how many items we've got: 7, 8 and 11. So that seems about right for us. So that's a way of quickly changing the categories for those songs. Other bits and pieces you can do up here, you can refresh our category. Here it shows you sorted by position. So this is the position in the deck of cards, as it were. So the next time that the clock calls for an A-list song, it's going to be this Narcotic Thrust song. And we can do the same for all of those. And so it might be that you don't want that one to be the next one. If that's the case, you can left click, drag it down, and it's lower back in the deck. Also, you can right click on it and you can move it to the top quarter, upper, lower, middle. Also, you can move it to the bottom. And so your ability to change its position within the deck. And if you've got a couple of songs by the same artist, you can use this to make sure that they're separated out and that they're not going to conflict too much, and you're not going to end up with too many by that certain artist. Or you could have added them as a song collection. Shuffle, the ability to shuffle the deck. So the song category has been shuffled around there, just enables you to freshen things up, and you can export the results as a CSV file. So they're the options that you have here. You do, in settings and Autotrack, you do have the ability to bring up more information here on the deck view, but most people like to keep it quite simple. So that's a quick way of being able to move things left and right, and you can also see their position in the deck as well. So that one's just played and it's going to be right down at the bottom. You can manually change it. You can, if you right click, you can go into edit, brings up the database card. You can right click here to bring up the history of the item, see when it's been played. We're going to take a look at song and artist and link history in a second, but that's one way of getting straight into it. Basement checks. And move the item to the top, move it around in the deck, move the item to the bottom, and you can also create a duplicate item too. If you wanted to hear what it sounded like, you can left click and drag it down and play it off there and play it in the cart player. So that's what options you get there. So that is the deck, song decks. You've also got the same for link decks as well, and that's what a link deck looks like. You can you've got promos here, and you can see our 2 UK Hot 10 collections contains 2 items in there. So we can open that up and we can see our 2 UK Hot 10 promos that we made a collection for a little earlier on. So the decks for both songs and links look very similar and work in the same way.